Alright, what's up YouTube? Out of all the role-playing games that are constantly being put on to Kickstarter, this is one that I am excited about. The Well Roleplaying game by Shoeless Pete Games is one of the coolest ideas for a family-based role-playing game that I have seen in a long time. It has already raised over $10,000 of the pledge $7,800, so it is backed, it is good. People are excited for this. Over 260 backers with 26 days to go. As far as RPGs go, this is a lightweight, family-based game that is an amazing introduction to role-playing games in general. Now, Shoeless Pete Games, run by Peter Schaefer. Peter Schaefer has worked with Wizards of the Coast, White Wolf Publishing. He has been around the block. He knows what he's doing. And out of everybody that I would be excited to have a project led by, Pete would be one of them. Now, The Well is his baby, the project that he has been wanting to launch himself for a while, and he is excited for. He believes that it's ready, and I am excited to see what we will get. The Well, just based off of this picture, reminds me a lot of The Spiral, if you've ever read that graphic novel, The Spiral. Everywhere you look, if you look up, if you look down, there's a spiral. That is The Well. To me, it seems like The Well is more interested in looting and fighting than it is necessarily building up the role-playing aspects that you would find in something like Dungeons & Dragons or GURPS or any of the other big RPGs. It says here that The Well is an original tabletop role-playing game about exploring the abandoned crypts of your people's ancestors. The main idea around The Well is that we are living in the last city called Bastion. And through the doors we see, these doors that lead into Bastion, we see The Well, a massive shaft of emptiness pointing straight down, 100 meters in diameter, and ringed on the interior wall by a staircase that climbs into the black reaches above and recesses below. Where did The Well come from? Who built it? Why is it here? How are we still here? These are all questions that we don't have answers to. There are massive double doors where we have, in the past, dug our way through the rock. We've rebuilt Bastion. And as the dead start to pile up in our own world, we start to dig down further, starting new homes out of the rock. So that this has happened dozens of times over hundreds of years. It's nothing new. It's what we expect. Even though most people are wanting to live a normal life, are wanting to farm and then go home and play a game with their kids and go to sleep, get up and do it again, there are those in this society called grave diggers. That is you. You are a grave digger in this setting. Every couple of weeks, you and your friends gather together to go loot your past selves, your ancestors. You're going to climb up the well and search crypts, search homes, search the world that you have left behind to see if there is anything worth having, while also fighting those that came before you. The art is superb in all of this. We've already talked a little bit about Bastion, but a little bit more information to give you more an idea of the setting is that Bastion, the last city, the only city, the dark refuge against all the threats of humanity. It is lit up all day by things such as gas lamps, rune magic, bioluminescent fungi, and bituminous? Is that even a word? It is now. Bastion survives on the grace of magical paint and rune magic that makes life viable. You see, we have people such as this painter who every morning go out and paint and light up Bastion. If it wasn't for these people, if it wasn't for the bioluminescence that is in these places, the fungal spirits, then there would be no light in these dungeons, no light in this city. But every morning, these people, these brave men and women, go out into this city in order to help everybody else live a normal life. The gravediggers often spend their time in a bar called the Broken Shovel, and it gives a little bit of backstory here that I'll let you explore for yourself about the Broken Shovel, a bar in Bastion 1. These are some of the enemies or ancestors that we will encounter. The Revenants are those that almost seem to have their old past selves living again. You have everything from your basic zombie all the way up to Revenants. Those that have come back from the dead and are basically just reanimated walking teeth, all the way up to those that know how to use weapons and almost seem to have a new life about them. Now, why are there differences? Who is creating these differences? Who has created things such as these bone bats, the tomb hounds, crypt spiders, tooth swarms? Who is behind all of this? We don't know. But what we do know is that we need some of the material that is above us, and therefore we go out searching for it. And fighting, having to take down a bone bat, that's just another day in the neighborhood. In this book, The Well, you are introduced to the setting of the well and Bastion, a lot like this Kickstarter has done, and it teaches you also how to play the game. This will be the character sheet that you have, marking your name, your wounds, and your traumas. Those are things that gravediggers will be receiving throughout their time, wounds and traumas. We'll get to those in just a minute. Your action pool, where you put your dice, how much stress you have, all the way down to what kind of weapons and armors and history. All these different skills and kits, you can mark them off and move on. And I like that. Gameplay-wise, it's a basic mechanics. It says here, you roll a 6-sided die and compare the results. If you succeed, you win. If not, you make some progress towards your goal. So almost no roll is wasted. That is what makes this a family weight game. That no matter what you do, no matter how you fail, always are doing something positive, doing something worthwhile. There's never a waste of time, a waste of space, a waste of a roll. And that is something that can bring an entire family together. You can also play the gambit to get extra dice, and if you roll a 1, then it says the bad thing happens. The bigger the roll, the bigger thing that happens. Like, what bad thing happens? It can be anything from seeing a relative that looks similar to your ex-husband in zombie form, or having a permanent disability. Rather than taking damage, you accrue stress. At the end of combat, then depending on your stress level, you're going to have to either take a complication, the stress has gotten to you and you need to take a break, you might lose your gear or take a wound. If your stress is high enough, you might accidentally misplace a magical weapon, you might have a broken arm, or even emotional trauma. So while the theme is not light, it is still a family weight game that can actually bring up very important questions and concepts for younger children to experience, such as what stress is, what trauma is, how stress and trauma are related, and why their friends might even be going through something like this. These are the sort of questions that might even be raised by those that are a little younger in playing a game like this. And that's a good thing. Anytime we can expose younger children to these ideas that they bring up themselves through a platform such as an RPG, it gives us an outlet that we are able to express these ideas to them through. So, as far as The Well goes, it is very much a good game. I think it looks, based off of this, like it'd be good for 8+, 9+. A family weight game, as I've said multiple times, that might bring up difficult issues. So if you are playing this with younger kids, make sure you are ready to tackle those issues. So the Well doesn't really give us too much more. There's some cool art. There's triple layer art here. There's a little bit about who Peter Schaefer is and what he's worked on. But overall, this is a very interesting game that I am excited to play along with 260 other people. The best part for me is that in a world of expensive Kickstarters, I can get the PDF copy of this in just a couple months, February 2021, for $15. Meaning, if I don't like this game, then it's hardly cost me any. If you're also interested in a physical copy, it'll take a little bit longer to get there, but it'll be $30 for the softcover book, and then they go up a little bit from there. $40 for the personalized book, the library edition. As somebody that loves PDFs that I can put in an iPad and just go from there, this $15 pledge level is perfect for me. If you have any questions about the Well, I have linked it below. Go ahead and comment on if the Well is something that interests you, and if so, why? Is this something that you plan to play with your family? With your friend group? What about the Well interests you? And be sure to subscribe and hit the like if this content was good for you.